Okay, so in the last part we did the creases, and keeping in mind that we did them subtle so that they don't, sort of, you look at them and think, oh wow, that's really intense. We don't want intense creasing. We want it quite subtle. Now, I haven't had time to work on these babies, so they've been sitting here for a couple of days now, but we're now ready to go to the next step. So the next step, we're going to continue to do more detailing. What I've mixed here is the same mediums, the medium flow and the stroke and blend, and a little bit of distilled water, and I've put in a dollop of the burgundy colour, because capillaries, if you don't know what they are, they're little tiny spidery veins that are usually present in thinning skin or thin skin, like in the case of babies. Usually found around the cheeks, sometimes a little bit on the nose, and as the baby grows, those fade away, only to return again sometimes in older age when the skin then becomes thinner again. So I've mixed it up to a fairly translucent consistency, but it's not completely translucent like what it would be if I were doing mottling, just to give you an idea. So if you haven't seen what capillaries look like, do a Google search, and I'm sure you'll get lots and lots of photos of them. They're like bunched up little spider veins, if that makes any sense. I'm using a liner brush. It's a 10/0, just making sure it is. It's a 10/0. Now, which baby? I think I'll go with Kobe this time. He's a fairly young baby, so meaning smaller than the others, younger. So I'll just show you. I'll try and face the camera if I can do it that way. I've picked up a little bit of paint on my brush. Usually they are found, I can see a mistake there that needs correcting with the fluid, and there too, inside the ear. But anyway, they're usually found around about the temple area, and this is basically what they look like. There's just little squiggly, sort of like V-shaped, if you want, lines, veins, and I just sort of bunched up. That's usually how they are. We do get our cosmetic sponge and just blot them in, because we don't want them intense again. But that's what they look like. I don't know if you can see that. Bring it up closer. See that there? So we just have a few of those, sort of random. I chose the burgundy because it's got a little bit of the purple running through it as well. So, you might have a random one just there. It's a little bit too slow in drying off those ones, and because it's warm today, it doesn't take much for the paint to dry off. In fact, it's quite annoying me because they're a little bit too intense. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take them away. This is where this comes in very handy, which is the Ultimate Fusion eraser. Takes off paint like where you've made a mistake. I'll fix those ears while I'm at it too. So basically it's just a matter of rubbing off, and if you continue to rub, obviously it's going to take off more than just the first layer, but it's one of the best ever must-haves for people who make mistakes like me, because I'm forever reaching for it, I can tell you. So there, all magically gone. See, they're gone, but I'm going to put new ones there, obviously. Inside the ear, there's just a little bit of paint that didn't spread well for some reason, so I'm just using this eraser to get rid of that little blob. I don't like it. It's got to go. Oh, come on. I spent all morning on the, just about all morning, not all morning, but anyway, on computer, because it's near Christmas time, and of course I do a lot of my shopping online because I just cannot fathom the crowds and lining up and waiting and waiting and wait, and then walking and walking and walking. Oh, no, thank you. So I just do it online, and that takes up enough time as it is, but it's Christmas. We haven't even put the Christmas tree up yet. Oh my God, we're slack. Anyway, so I just got rid of those annoying mistakes, and that's much better. I'm happy with that. There's a little bit more just in that little corner. Easy enough to happen. Right. Thank you, Kovu. You were very, very patient. So there you go. So, okay, I'm going to redo those capillaries that I just took off, and I'm just going to add them. Now I'm going too light. Doesn't matter. Just there. They're tiny, tiny. You've got to look closely at a baby. There we go. To notice them, but they are there, and they do add to the overall texture of the coat. I was going to say, oh my God, of the skin. So I just make a little darker one there, but ever so long. The idea is I'm hardly putting the brush on the vinyl. It's barely touching the vinyl, and that way I get the results that I want. Don't know what that little speck there is. Little black speck. How did you get there? It's not going anywhere either. So that's all right for one side, and I'm just going to place maybe just one on each nostril. It looks very effective, so in sight. I don't know whether you can see. I'll try zooming in actually. It's not, because now we're there. That's about as far in as I can zoom. Here we go. So it's just along there, and just a couple on the cheek, and one on the side of the nostril. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can. I'll zoom out. Oops. There we go. So I'll do the other side. And yeah, basically it's exactly the same again. And the burgundy is the correct colour, because the veins are not really red, and they do have a sort of like a purplish tinge to them. So this works well. The other vein's hardly visible, the one that we did before. Under all the coats, that's about right there. And then just maybe one or two just here on the cheeks. That's not even showing up. Made them a little bit darker. Just on the nostril here, on the side. If you can see, probably out of focus again. You know, after all this time that I've been using, sorry guys, using this camera, you would think that I'm used to it now. But you know what? I'm not. There's the one on the nostril. And another area where you're going to find them again is on sleeping eye babies. Just on top of the eyelids. Barely there. As I said, I'm hardly touching the vinyl with doing them. In fact, I can't even see them. How's that? Now, there we go. On this little baby, I'm going to do another realistic feature. I'll have to wait until after, because I've got other things to do at the moment, but I'm going to do, oftentimes when babies are just born, newborns anyway, they'll have, just gone offline there a little bit with the crease. they'll have a pinprick to their heel, because that's the area where the doctors or paediatricians, whatever, take blood to test for various different things. I mean, I have no idea what they're testing for, and they place a Band-Aid over the top of it. But when you take it off, when you take the Band-Aid off, or the baby manages to somehow kick it off, there's the tiniest little pinprick, and it's usually a little bit inflamed around it. So that's what I'm going to try and achieve. I haven't done one before, but that's what I'm going to try and achieve with this little fella anyway. The others are a little bit too old for that, so he's the most newborn I'm working on at the moment. So there you go. Now we've done the capillaries, they're already dry. On top of the eyelids, on the nostrils. This nostril's not showing up very well, but we can reiterate that. What about the other side? Yeah, that one's not too bad. Let's just take it off anyway. So we'll put him back for now. Do the capillaries on. Oh, I'm not even sure I'm going to put capillaries on these guys. They're older, so I may even skip it with them. Yeah. Okay, so I would mix a little bit more of the red to make the inflamed part outside stand out more. So just put a dollop of paint there, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of this, let's see how we go that way, already mixed up one. That seems to have a lot of brown in it. I thought I washed you, but I forgot you up here. You dried out, you silly brush. Well, I'm the silly one for forgetting you. Okay, I think most of it was on the handle. I'll just wash it again. For some reason, distilled water seems to be difficult to come by at this point in time. I'll have to find it somewhere. No, I think that should be okay. So I'm going to take some of this already mixed burgundy. There probably is an easier way if I knew where my pipettes were on my eyedroppers, but anyway, I don't know where anything is. So I'm just mixing in a little. Take that, mix it in with it. Now that's, to me, still too bright. Okay, so what I'm going to do is mix more. And I think I'm going to go and try and find a pipette somewhere, or a syringe or something, because this is ridiculous. Hang on, guys.